Welcome to Megan Chatty. I drove to Mississippi and I'm at Joy's house.
So this is Megan. I'm Joy. And we are in person for once. Which is quite... This is a weird setup for us, but we wanted to have like the girl like sleepover energy when we talk about this week.
Well...
Yeah, just in general.
That and it was time to see each other.
Well, yeah, like, or two months
yeah, like
up.
this, yeah, 2 months was up, it
2
was
months
time.
was up, it was like, alright.
It was time to figure out how to see each other in person.
Basically, when I need to change my fridge water filter, like, I need to go see Megan. Like, that's essentially...
Yeah, pretty dang good way of doing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that our, like, long-distance bestie, like, health tip? Just, like...
A sign of visitation to a house chore?
Yeah.
Of the same time frame.
Okay,
like, if you change your air filter every 2 months...
It's time. Which is funny, because actually, Travis changed ours right before he got here.
True.
So, and then Megan's like, wait, Alan, hold on.
We're actually, I'll say this, we're really lucky. We are like a 5-6 hour drive from each other. So we don't really have, like, there's no flights.
No.
We can jump in the car.
Yep.
Today is Friday. I came in Wednesday night, was here by dinner, and then I'm leaving tonight. So we spent all day yesterday kikiing, ha-haing. And by that I mean...
I was like, yeah, haha, kiki strategy.
Planning
their next
harder.
Brain going numbers everywhere. At one point, Megan was going through my strategy, which was brilliant and so much more simple than I.
I'm going to say this. Get 2 whiteboards and your best friend. That's all you need. And some color markers. You have to have lots of pretty colors. It has to be color coded.
Because I will say, I was like going through yours, like, you need this. And then I could swap. It was really funny where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be that helpful. And then I was like, by the way, no, Megan, let me take this over for a second. And then Megan's like, okay, here's your life. And here's what it's going to be. And I think my
strategy was a really good idea.
It was great.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. We were about to record a specific topic. Do we need to just go ahead and go into... Should this just be the last 90 days episode instead? Okay.
Swap. Okay.
We're gonna record our... We're gonna...
We had an original
We promise this will make sense. You just have to listen next week, too.
Idea, and then now we're sitting here, let's just...
Reading each other's minds.
Jump into it?
Yeah.
I can record that one.
Yeah, we'll do that one next. Yeah. And then we'll post it next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Next week, come back for talk about periods and our favorite fanfics.
Which, let's be, are very Germani.
Yeah, it's just Germani.
It's just Germani. Like, we're not that expansive.
We're really not.
But after you hear our Rex, if you're part of another fandom and are like, you know what, you could just podcast.
Yeah, then you just tell us what we need to be.
I'm down to join another fandom. There's too many.
But that's going to be next week.
Not.
Today, we're going to talk about...
Last 90 days.
Okay, so here's the theory. Is that the last 90 days is like this concept where you hustle for the last 90 days to set up the next year. I hate that, and I think it's stupid. But here's why. January 1st, I'm depressed. I don't want to make New Year's... Do not make me make decisions for the whole year when I'm in the middle of my winter depression.
Your girl has seasonal depression.
I'm a sad girl.
He's a winter saddie. But okay, also
winter saddie, summer baddie.
Here's my like whole thing. If you can't do it on January 1st, why are you gonna do it the rest of the year?
But also,
so get into it the rest of the year, and then January 1st isn't that big of a fucking deal.
If you are living cyclically, like we're gonna talk about periods next week, but let's talk about the hormone cycle of a woman. It's a 28-day cycle, not a 24-hour cycle, and it mimics the natural cycle of season setting, and the like big dreaming and everything happens more in like March, because that's when spring is starting.
It's natural. You're like, I can do things.
That is it's your follicular phase.
Well, I was joking yesterday with you.
That's ovulation, not follicular.
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah, wrong one.
No. But yesterday we were talking about like...
No, summer is ovulation, spring is follicular, and fall is luteal.
Maybe, I know none of this shit, because I don't care.
I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I will correct it on screen with a graphic.
Anyways, we were talking about how...
I have a hangnail. I'm sorry. It's really bothering me. Because I'm at your house, I don't have my cuticle clippers.
You don't think I
know,
literally
I
have them in
didn't
the guest
think about
bathroom.
it.
That's where the nail stuff is.
Okay, keep going.
I love how unhinged this is because we're in person.
I
It's
know,
way more
it's
unhinged
so
than
much.
We're monsters. Anyways, yesterday while we were working for our goals, we were talking about how goal setting really should up in spring and fall because that's like my favorite seasons, fall and spring. But also like if you're ready for something new, you're ready for something a little different.
So yeah, I think we're in agreement that January 1st is not the day to be doing any type of strategizing, dreaming, plotting, planning.
Okay,
Can
we just be so honest with January 1st? Like, let's be real. Typically, you're recovering from being with family over Christmas. And you're probably trying to get just back into your normal life. It is not the time to start something entirely new.
No.
And I'm a firm believer in, like, the hope of a new year. The excitement of a new year.
Live for the hope of it all.
You're too busy recovering from, like, being around people, going through the stress of holidays, coming back, traveling, whatever it is.
And then there's a massive dopamine drop because you've gone from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Black Friday to Christmas parties to if you celebrate Hanukkah or any of the Sabbats, the Wheel of the Year, like whatever it is that you celebrate. Yeah. Like it's so thick all through October, November, December, and then January. It's like,
to be honest,
all the pretty lights come down, all the decorations come down, you're just stuck in the darkness without the twinkly lights.
January is where
this is how I get depressed, guys.
You and so dark. I was gonna say January is when I want to return to normal and like bring back my quiet time.
That's when I'm sad. I'm sorry. I spend every January really fucking depressed.
I feel like I do my best like creative writing.
Every January is when I'm like,
February.
Oh, I should probably up my dose on this antidepressant. Like, that's when that happens.
I realize that's when I, like, start writing, like, fantasy stories, just for me. Like, just for this, like, writing exercise.
I am dead set on that not happening this winter, and I'm already putting systems and things into place to prevent this. Don't be worried.
If you see us in January and I'm at our house, it's because, like, no, we're not in sadsies. We're pulling it back up.
But I'm embroidering. It makes me very happy.
I am so excited for whatever you make me. I cannot wait. It's going to be so excited. Or, like, she sent me a picture and she's like, just so you know, your birthday Christmas presents might be embroidery. And I was like, yes. Because I see stuff on Pinterest I love and think it's hysterical. I'm like, should I pick up embroidery? I'm like, no. I have 4 paintings to do.
ADHDers will understand. Embroidery is my new hyperfixation craft. It's a great time.
Hyperfixation.
But also, I am already taking into that. Okay, so like when I was a knitter, there's this concept of being knit-worthy. And like not everybody's knit-worthy. Meaning like not everybody appreciates a handmade gift. Not everybody will actually
not
like
everyone deserves
care
the craft.
For a handmade gift. Especially if it's a knitted gift. Usually those are something to be worn. Gloves, a hat, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But like it needs to be gifted to someone who understands how to care for that item and not throw it in the washer then the dryer. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, not everybody is knit-worthy, and I'm kind of already taking that mindset into embroidery. Not everybody is stitch-worthy.
Oh, am I stitch-worthy?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Okay, but, so here's our thought process, is we're basically going ahead and setting our goals for the next 6 months now. We're like, yes, it's going to encompass the last 90 days of the year, but it's also going to encompass the first 90 days of the next year.
Because here's
which takes us to the spring equinox.
Yes, because
when the world is waking up.
We don't want to hit the like 90-day sprint and then I had the problem of setting new, incredibly over-the-top goals that I also expect my skills to be 2 years in it, like what will take me 2 years in like 3 months. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that this time because it is a long game process. So we're
and we've been friends since 2019.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it the other way for that long. So this is our first year setting realistic expectations for ourselves.
This is a lot of error. Like a trial and error. We have errored for like 6 years.
Yeah. So if you are also in the land of like, oh, I do the last 90 days sprint. And like, here's the thing is I am in an industry where big money is spent in the burr months. I'm in sales. Like, it's true. It's true. The burr months is when, like, September, October, November, December. People are spending money. And then January, the J months tend to be people pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, and so you go from like the height of the Burr months into a J month, and it's just like boop. There is spending because people get money for Christmas, but like, anyway.
It's not the same type of spending.
Right. I no longer want to do this 90 days all out to just end up on the floor flat on my back in January.
Just burnt out.
Which is what always happens.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you're supposed to set January goals, and you're coming out of this adrenaline high, and
you're crashing out, and you're exhausted, and you're full of sugar, and you feel like crap. And I will say, last year was the first year from a like health standpoint that I did not gain weight over the holidays. I lost weight over the holidays. I felt like I fueled myself well. Same. I stayed on top of protein. Like, so that's I'm taking that into this year. Because, like, I actually figured that out last year.
So, because my husband's in healthcare, you don't get like, if you get the holiday off, you don't get the time around it off, because that's when everyone's trying to get time off. Yeah. So, what we have been doing is just holidays at home, which is great because I don't spend, all 2-3 days cooking for us. I make very simple veggie, like fruit, like we do a fruit platter, we do whatever, because then my health stays on track. There's no up, there's no down. We have a good time, and it's very chill.
Whereas Alan and I are the ones in our families without kids and able to travel. So we are the ones who are normally going to everyone. Like, there have been many years where we had a 6 or 7 day period where we were in Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia in as many days. Like, I love it, but I can't manage the stress of that with the stress of pushing for a heavy goal. Yeah. And then come into a goal setting period. Like, I can't, like, no, it needs to be one or the other, also, or balanced between them.
People in a normal 9 to 5, not in the sales industry, don't understand that, like, you put in work all year long, like normal hours, and then the second it hits the burrs, you are working 12, 14 hours a day to get all this stuff out, to get it all where it needs to go. It's a lot.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I want to do. So if we go into the goals, so if we're thinking like the next 90 days and then the following 90 days, like, I'm actually going to kind of divide those up. But I have one goal that's staying the same through all of them, which is I want to make time every single day to do something fun. Yeah. Which, I mean, it might be watching Dancing with the Stars. It might be doing embroidery. Yeah. It might be painting. It might be reading a romance book. But, like, I want to make sure that I have an off every day. I have an off, and I spend time doing this.
Like, power down in a nice way.
Power down, but also I don't want to wait until the end of the day to do it. Like, I kind of want there to be 2 periods of this happening. Like,
almost like a lunch break one.
Yeah, or like a mid-afternoon, like a 3 p.m.-ish, something along those lines. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's painting, maybe it's a hot bevy on the porch and crisp cold air. Like, I don't know, maybe. But, like, I don't want it to be I've pushed all day and then I, like, collapse into this at night.
Yeah, and
I want there to be a sense of balance to it. But I also think that starting it now and figuring out how to make it work now means I will continue doing it in the months that are harder for me.
Think of how nice that'll be for your nervous system.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really interesting because I realized I kind of do that during lunch. Like, if I have an already planned lunch, I'll pick up a book I like. I'll throw on Bravo. I do like the things that make me happy because I don't know to save until the end of the day.
See, I don't ever want to do it while I'm eating lunch.
I think it's because I got so used to having a lunch break.
Yeah, that tracks.
Where I was constantly trying to throw in something fun because those in jobs I hated. And so, like, it was my way of coping. Yeah. And so now it's just kind of a thing I reach for. Like, and the caveat is, if my brain is in it, like in the writing process or whatever, like, I'll stay in it. I'll eat, I'll zone out, whatever, and then come back and da-da-da-da. But if it's in the, like, heavy practice where something's not going right, I need to remove myself, chill the fuck out, and come back.
I realize why that doesn't work for me. Because right now, I don't wake up until 10. And so, like, the idea of jumping into something 2 hours later when I'm just getting really into work, that doesn't make sense. If I can correct my sleeping habits, which is also on the list of things to do. Yeah. Because right now, I have to sleep so much more because of the POTS, but I also really struggle with going to bed at a good time. So if I can get on top of that going to bed at a good time and I'm up and working at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., then noon makes sense.
Can I tell you my trick for getting out of the staying up late thing?
Go to bed.
No? Oh, okay. So I do the thing where I'm like, I didn't get enough done in the day, and I just keep on going. I make myself hard stop at like 7 p.m. no matter what.
Well, I think that's where the brick is going to come in.
You need to like hard stop no matter what and then reset. Because then your brain says, okay. Because I will do the procrastination thing, wait until the evening to do stuff.
That's not what's happening though. I'll get in bed at 10 and then I sit and scroll and I'm locked into that scroll hole. So like I'll get in bed at the right time.
That's what books are for. But
what I'm saying is my phone is there and it's too tempting. That's where the brick.
Do you want to know is the sleep hygiene rule is?
Yeah, the phone goes in the other room.
No. You don't see a screen an hour and a half before you go to bed.
Yeah, my brain doesn't give a shit about that.
I'm just saying. So, like...
It works when you're neurotypical, not when you're neurodivergent. That's where I'm saying the brick...
I'm saying you should, like, brick it at 7 p.m.
I know, that's what I'm agreeing with.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, it's not when you go to bed. It is, like,
No. It's beforehand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where the brick makes it so that I can't bypass it. Because I can give myself a rule, and I don't give a crap about it. Like, my brain does not care if I'm like, we can't do this. It's like, make me. Like, my little rebellious tendencies learn the rules to break them. Like, that's how I've always been. So setting a rule for myself doesn't work.
Even if it's hurting you.
Yeah.
I'm all for breaking the rules when it's not hurting me, but the second it's hurting me, I'm like, all right. Well,
there's no difference.
My self-protection is strong.
Mine's not. Not in that sense.
Oh,
in other senses, yes,
intense.
but not in that one.
Mine's intense.
But that's where using the physical tool that will shut the phone off of the apps that like trap me, and all of a sudden I've watched 3 hours of cockatoos dancing to Opalite, like,
and she's not kidding,
because
it's not gonna like the whole thing.
No, but it will help because you have to physically tap it to the device to brick it and unbrick it, and the tap lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, like, the phone can be in the room with me, but the device to unbrick it is in the kitchen. I'm not going to get out of bed at 11 p.m. and go unbrick my phone.
But
I'm already in bed.
I think you need to set an alarm of when that phone needs to be bricked every single day, is what I'm saying.
Why is she trying to be the boss of me?
You're not trying to boss me? Because this girl has an alarm for her snacks, her meds, or like all of it. So I think the phone needs an alarm for when it gets bricked. Because otherwise it'll be like, I have a brick, I just forgot to use it. And then you'll be in bed scrolling.
Or, you know what I have to do is I have to habit stack it.
Yeah.
Like...
I have dinner, I brick it. I brick it.
You know, whatever. Like, it has to be something like, I just finished the dishes, I brick it.
So you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast and brick. Like, those long time about the sleeping habits.
If you are a sad girly in January, start working on your sleep hygiene now. That's the outcome of that.
And I got I stole my husband's hatch, which I gave to him, so I don't know how that works. Anyways.
I have a hatch knockoff if you want a cheaper version. I will link it.
I swapped it for my lamp, so then it has an automatic timer to end my reading for the night. It turns off. Like, the light turns off.
Lights aren't the boss of me.
Okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about my sleep hygiene. We talk about her sleeping for 10 minutes and she thinks that the world revolves around her. I mean, come on. Anyways, I was having a problem with staying up too late. My light was too bright and whatever. On my lamp, my IKEA lamp from when I was 12, and it's still the same light bulb, which I have no idea how that is. I've been using it the entire time. I'm 32. The lampshade started actually falling apart. I have not had to change the bulb. Okay. Anyways, it's impressive. But
IKEA light bulbs, guys.
IKEA lamp, IKEA shade, finally fell apart. Anyways, that's on my husband's side now because we cannot decide on lamps. Fine. So I use his hatch with the reading light, and so it's nice and soft. It sets mood music, whatever. Then I'm not tempted to pick up my phone to play something on my phone for the music or whatever. And so it's a nice way for me to just naturally call it. So I have it set for like an hour and a half. So when I'm in bed,
that's great.
Hit it, and then it switches to campfire sounds. it's really nice when you're reading a book about the ocean because then like because it plays ocean sounds, and I was like, this is so moody. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, can you turn the ocean down? Like,
I love a rainstorm. Like, give me a rainstorm.
Anyways, so the goals. So yours is to get sleep under control and make your habits ready for the next 6 months.
Yes, but that's also where I'm adjusting how I'm showing up on social media and the platforms that I'm showing up on to also help. Basically, it all revolves around scroll less, have better mental health. Like that.
Scroll less, put out more content.
If my goals for the next 6 months had a tagline, scroll less, be happier.
Don't scroll, be happy.
But so I think we've all heard the phrase like consume more than you, or create more than you consume, when I have been living the opposite. But the idea of like creating more than you consume hit me differently when I started equating creating to meaning my crafts too. Like
not just your work.
Just content, but also the embroidery, the painting, the like cooking and the recipes, like creating.
Yeah, not just
being like so much more than just work. Yeah, so like that, when that finally, like, I don't even know what made that click in my brain. I think I was making one of my coffee creamers. I was like, I'm creating. And then I was like, wait a minute. It was like a light bulb. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, this is how I need to be looking at it, is I need to be looking at like the act of creation instead of the act of consumption. Not the disease of consumption. Don't get confused.
No. Or like having an end result or a product at the end of creating.
But also creating doesn't have to mean for other people to consume.
No.
It can be creating to pour in my coffee.
And the thing is like creating, like creativity fuels creativity. So it doesn't matter what, and this took me a long time to grasp, but it doesn't matter what avenue it is, as long as you are doing it, you're growing that muscle, and then it will help every other area of your life. So like when I was working on music and I was like, oh, my writing sucks, I'm not doing it. And then I listened to someone talk about how like, no, you need to like go paint, to go draw, do something else in the creating sphere, just different, so then your brain can cool down and then it can marinate and then it can come up with different ideas.
Yeah.
Because you're shutting it down. Like you're choosing to not put in the stress or the work while you are actually growing that muscle. So I think for you, that'll be so good to just focus on those things without a like end result in mind, you know, like so then you can just
what I do want to do with it though is I want to share this, because this has been such a perspective shift for me, and so that's enter that second Substack channel. That's where all of this will wind up, in that cozy like world where I'm going to keep making my own coffee creamer, but I can like snap a picture of it and write down the recipe for what I made and put it in there. And that way, like, to help others, people who might be looking for that same type of perspective shift, who are looking for that nervous system regulation, a way to look at their life as more of a cozy space and pull back on. And obviously, yes, I'm literally creating something to be consumed by other people, but it took consuming something for me to get to this perspective shift.
Well, and
and it also allows you to be more mindful of what you're consuming. You're
just sharing what you are making for yourself. Like, your whole focus is something to make you happy, right? Like, that is literally it. And, like, I think by sharing it, you give permission to everyone else to be like, hey, this is okay. Yeah. It's not like, okay, I just hit my big sales numbers, da-da-da-da. Like, you and I love the little things. And really enjoy the little things. And I think we kind of lose the plot when it's like, only the big goal when like counts, and it's just like, I made a good loaf of bread. It didn't look cute, but and like it's small stuff, or like when you're looking at my painting, like the dots are literally in your font, like stuff like that, where you just feel you're expressing some part of yourself for yourself. No, in giving 0 Fs about what the outcome is. Yeah. When you show that, or when you share that, it's kind of like saying, hey, remember that thing we used to love doing when we were a kid? It's okay to do it. Really what it is. And I think a lot of us adults, especially millennials, we have seen some stuff. We have gone through some stuff. And we have this mindset of like, we must constantly be progressing, constantly be putting out something, constantly be hitting the next mark. And when we get home, we're toast. Like, we have nothing left to give because we have not taken a minute to, like, enjoy the slow things. We're so used to having to be better, faster, da-da-da-da than everyone else that you're, like, we have lost it on
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Yes. We've lost it on the enjoying our lives and, like, romanticizing it a bit.
And I think that's why there is such a big push right now for, like, the romanticizing life and, like, people looking for more authentic content and less curated content.
I
and
think
more,
that
like,
was the greatest gift from COVID. Because we all had to we had to shut down our lives, right? Like, it was so stressful that we all had to pick up some sort of hobby to cope. Think about it.
I picked up 2 diagnoses.
But did you pick up hobbies to cope?
That's also partially why we do what we do with this podcast is we know that not everyone has access to
what we have.
Community and friendships. And so, like, that's partially why we are a big part of why we are doing this is to bring this in and create more of a community here, which is also why we moved the podcast to Substack, because we can host chats there. Like, we can actually engage and interact and build a community and not just put recordings of us out onto the internet for you to listen to, but, like, we can actually...
It's not, like, out in the ether and we're, like, did anyone hear? Or, like, there's no way to, like, return back or, you know, talk to us.
Yeah.
So that is why we moved to Substack, which, talking about goals, you want to grow on Substack. That is one of your goals.
Well, I think that the goal is really that I want to...
Put out stuff?
Deprioritize Instagram because it has become such a point of stress in my brain.
Yeah.
And allow something else to take priority where I'm creating in a different way. Mm-hmm. And then what I create there can also be put onto other channels. Like, I'm not going to stop posting on Instagram. Like, I'm going to post it over there. But the creation for the sake of Instagram is a point of stress for me right now. And I don't know if it's because, like, I take in too much information about how to optimize and strategy and all this. But, like, it is how I make money. So, like, I do want to do it well. I do want to optimize, right? But I think that's where just experimenting
on something different.
Yeah. And just seeing what happens.
When you're creating to create versus when you're creating for the algorithm, those are 2 entirely different things. And I feel like you and I have, obviously, we've talked about Substack an entire podcast, so I'm not getting into it. But a lot of what we're doing now is, instead of quick and fast to catch eyes, we are creating evergreen things that'll live on far longer than a reel or whatever will. Like, because we don't want to play the hard and fast games anymore. And that's a whole, like, our goals really are focused on
longevity,
the hard and fast. We want things to live on and create things that will hopefully help someone, make someone feel less alone, give someone, like, a laugh.
I mean, that's what this is.
That's literally what this is. But also,
like, yes, there are conversations we're having that are relevant from a timeline standpoint.
Yes.
But also, if you listen to this episode come January 1st and you're like, I am struggling so hard with this, like, goal setting thing, let me hear what they had to say 3 months ago. You're going to hear us right now say, don't stress over it. Wait 3 months. Like, don't stress over it. Wait until your body is waking up with the seasons again. And, like...
And if you want to start something...
Or maybe pick
like, one thing.
Yeah.
One. I started to overhaul my life January 1st. And for once, I'm on top of my nutrition. I'm on top of my working out schedule. Like, I will not be making changes there. And so it's nice being able to say, like, I've already put my habits in place.
But the thing is we've done each of those one at a time.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. I started with working out, then I added the nutrition.
Whereas I started with the nutrition and the medication, and now I have to add in the working out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
and so it's just...
But it's been one thing at a time until we get it locked in.
Yeah. And then...
Whereas 5 years ago, I was absolutely refusing to do one thing at a time. I had a habit tracker that had 10 habits on it that I wanted to do every month. And, like, that's... I wish if I had started the one thing at a time 5 years ago, where would I be now? Right? So, like, I don't want 5 years from now to look back and be like, if I had started then, right? So, like, I'm going to start now.
I think
And that, I think, is the biggest takeaway for me from this whole, like, last 90 days.
Yeah.
Like, that hustle mentality makes you feel like you have to do it all right now. But that's also because it's pushing you to burn out into
the new year.
But here's the thing. Hustle is working hard. Yeah. I still think you have to work hard. I will still be working hard. I'm still going to be hustling. But I'm not going to be... I feel like hustle is such like a... there's so many ways to interpret the meaning of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not using it as I'm going to hustle for the next 3 months. No, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to keep working hard.
I'm realizing the mindset shift I've had around, like, how I think about hustle these days.
Mm-hmm. It's changed a lot.
Well, I think of it as making your own opportunities. That's what I think being, like, a true hustler really is making your own opportunities. Because of looking at the music industry, looking at things that were done, all your favorite people made their own opportunities. And so it's interesting now looking at...
But also being prepared when an opportunity arises. Mm-hmm. And so you're working hard to be prepared. But to me, hustle isn't working 15 to 20 hours a day every single day. To me, hustle is you work hard for the designated amount of time.
Consistently.
And you're setting yourself up to work hard. Mm-hmm. Not to... flash in the pan and burn out.
Yeah. You hustle as a long-term state of hard work. Instead of the overdoing it, burning out, starting and then doing nothing and starting over again.
Right.
Which...
the cycle of hustle, burnout. Now, hustle is... I would prefer to hustle for myself and work for myself than to hustle for someone else's bottom line.
And actually, so my goal... we basically set my goals for the year, pretty much, for the next... 12 months. I had like 5 different goals. But now it's a one thing, lasering on this one thing, because everything else will work out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's literally what it is. And so before yesterday's conversation, I had 5 different goals for the end. Think long term, not short term. Mm-hmm. What is going to get me the furthest? What is going to do the most for me? What is actually going to get me to where I want to be? And kind of let the chips fall where they may. Mm-hmm. But this is where I need to be locked in. And that's it. Like, truly. And
the first time you're thinking past tomorrow and you are not throwing away your shot.
Megan will take every opportunity to bring up Hamilton. And it is who she is. And we love her.
One of my goals for the next 90 days is to watch Wicked.
To watch Wicked?
Yeah. The new one. For good.
Okay, I was like...
That's it. That's my goal. Wicked, Hamilton, Taylor Swift. I'm just saying, I'll take any opportunity to bring up any of those things.
Okay, I was like,
no.
She just put out a movie. Don't ask her to do more. That's I was like, what?
No, you're just saying I'll take any opportunity to bring up Hamilton, and then I use the Hamilton opportunity to bring up Wicked.
It's true. That is entirely true. By the way, we breezed straight past vibes, straight past hyperfixations, and we just got into it.
I don't care. I think the main takeaway that I have for this is for the person who is sitting in the guilt of, oh my gosh, I should be setting my goals for the next 90 days. Oh my gosh, I should be getting ready to hustle for the next 90 days. Like,
and the pre-mental stress that goes with that.
Yeah, and just, am I setting goals right now? Yes, but they're through March.
And mine is through next year.
Right, but like, I'm looking at like, okay, what do I want to do between now and March? Because like, I know in March, I'll be in a better headspace to set another 6 months of goals.
I think
that's what I'm kind of looking at is like the cycle.
Doing is we've been picking our goal, like a simple goal, setting up the systems to make it happen. And then we can move on to the next. Mm-hmm. Versus, let's change all these things about our businesses, our lives, whatever, all at once. We've been very intentional with the habit stacking, the systems to get there, and saying, do I have the capacity for X, Y, and Z?
And so now looking at those systems and going, where are they landing me? Because if the system has been set goals every quarter. Well, that lands me at goal setting in the middle of Depressy Bessie, right? Which is not when I want to be.
Or going hard for a month.
Right.
And burning.
Right.
And then feeling like shit because you didn't hit that at the end of that first...
So this is like a reevaluation of all of that, right? As I think everyone else is going like, we have to push for the last 3 months of the year. And I'm like, I'm going to focus on the next 6 months and not even worry about... Like, here's the thing. Do I remember a single New Year's goal that I set in the last 5 years? I remember some of the ones from this past year, but what's interesting about them is they are absolutely not applicable to my life right now. Like, Chrissy and I went and did the whole, like, we stayed in a hotel, we set goals for the year, and I had those on Post-it notes above my desk, and, like, by June, they just didn't apply anymore. And so that's where I'm like, why are we setting goals a full year at a time? Like, I really think that this, like, 6 months thing is...
Can I tell you what worked for me this year?
What?
I haven't set a single fucking goal.
Yeah.
Like, truly, because all I put was, I picked my word of the year, which is literally on a board right there, and I look at it all the time and measure myself against it.
So I think the main takeaway is giving and offering and saying you have the freedom to not conform to the societal standards of the hustle, the last 90 days, the whatever it is, and the permission to look at how you may need to set goals so differently from anyone else around you, because, like, as you hear, we are not doing the same. Like, the same thing is not working for us.
Not at all.
And, like, that's completely fine.
And it's interesting to go from, like, all these, like, career goals or business goals or whatever to now we've realized the importance of having fun, to having all these different things. Like, it goes so much further than, like, just be like, I was dedicated in this X, Y, and Z today, blah, blah, blah. Having fun does so much more for your mental health, for your, like, body, for your everything, than I think we realize. And so it's kind of funny looking at our goals. Like, yes, we have career goals, but a lot of it is centered around what's fun for us. What's going to give us most joy? What's going to do all these things? Because I think at the end of the day, you and I have a belief in our fun and our creativity will do more for our careers than anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in, if we create and put stuff out, it will then bring in the money opportunities. It will bring in all these different things, because in a world of constant hustle, of constant this and that, and, like, being so, like, locked in and serious, I think the opportunities are wherever the creativity is.
And I mean, how many people have we watched work their absolute tails off, get what they wanted, and not know what to do? Not know how to, like, they don't know how to then step back and have fun. They don't know how to then, and then everything falls out underneath them, or they have to pivot or whatever.
And then we get that, like, perpetual story of when you hit your goal, your life falls apart.
Right. So, like, why not step out of that, step into, like, I'm going to enjoy my life while I'm living it, not I'm going to save the enjoyment for after I hit my goals.
It's like it's the analogy that well, it's not really an analogy, it's kind of life. It's the, I will start that fun, or I will do that fun thing when I retire. And then your body is crap. You don't have anything left. You have nothing left to give. You don't have that in you anymore to do it. And it's so sad. And I think it's not, and, like, some people are like, take the trip, da-da-da. And I don't think it's even that big.
It's to be honest, little daily,
it's the tiny things. Like, I love making my morning coffee.
Yeah.
I love it. Like,
I'm having so much fun playing with coffee creamer flavors and, like, trying different syrups and, like, the cinnamon infusion thing.
Which, mind blown. But, like, it's the small stuff, or even calling your bestie and be like, did you read this book?
Oh, my God.
Which, by the way, 300 pages. We're getting there. Like, it's those things that I think are, like, okay, this is this is going to sound so corny, and hang with me, people who are not artist types. Joy is the greatest rebellion. She means the motive, like the feeling of joy, not her. Oh gosh, no. I'm the greatest rebellion. Yeah, I'll be disciplined for myself to make sure I get what I want in the end. Yeah. And Megan's like, go. But I think at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Like, that is, to me, the greatest thing you ever do. Yeah. Like, what's the point of living and working that hard to get to the end and never have enjoyed a day of it? And, like, okay, for instance, I was telling you about my grandma, right? Yeah. That I adored. Did I bring up her hard work ethic one time? No. I talked about her poetry and her sense of humor and all those things. And I think it's interesting if we think about the grand scheme of things. All the stuff we appreciate about people typically is not their career. It's not their accomplishments. It's how they lived their lives. Well, and the people who do bring up someone's work ethic when someone else passes. Yeah. Is it because they had nothing else? It might be. I think it's it's pivoting from the short term to like the lifelong legacy kind of mindset of like,
Yeah.
even in how we're doing our content, even how we're doing our lives, it's the what do I want to leave and what I want to put out is totally different than what's going to perform today. So that is our whole goal setting conversation that yesterday we had this in depth and sat down with whiteboards, and like at one point I was trying to wipe something off and Megan's like, put your back into it. It was like shoving me into the whiteboard and I'm like pulling my muscle. And like it was really funny to have a moment of goal setting that was so unserious.
Oh, so unserious.
So unserious. We had so much fun. And then we're like...
So much Windex.
And then I was like, our brains are shot. We went to a bookstore and we went and had coffee. Like, it didn't need to be that serious or that deep to feel so satisfying and gratifying. But it was so much more
productive in such a short amount of time when we were then able to like step away and do something we had fun with.
And in the past, we would have been like, well, we
would have locked
more
in
goals.
for 12 days. 12 hours, not 12 days. We would have been like, we need 12 hours of snacks. We gotta, like, we need a playlist. Like, no, we just sat down with a couple of whiteboards.
And we would have felt so stressed.
Oh, yeah.
And then then we'd be on our phones, like, trying to figure out how to make it happen.
The other thing is like, before we have like sat there and been like, okay, January, February, March, or Q1, Q2, Q3. And then we didn't do that at all.
No.
We were like, cool, here's the daily habits. Here's the weekly or monthly habits.
And it was literally like, here's the habit. Here's the systems. X, Y, and Z. Do you think you can do that? Cool.
Yeah, great.
And guess what? If it doesn't happen,
we'll shift.
Jump back in.
Yeah, we'll adjust.
And she literally looked at one thing and she went, now if you miss a day, you're not a failure.
Just because it's daily doesn't mean it's daily.
And she's like, I know you. It was like,
this doesn't have to be 7 days a week. It can be 3.
It was just that kind of conversation that normally we do not have. Like, we've grown enough to have that
to be able
conversation.
To have that. So we want to have that with you. This is us having that conversation with you, giving you the permission, giving you the perspective, giving you the other ideas, giving you the freedom.
And 1 day a week is better than no days a week, and it's better than wasting a month.
But also, doing it small every day for a year is better than doing it hard for 3 weeks and never touching it again.
And you can enjoy the hard work, but also if it is causing massive resistance, maybe you need to look at it and say, is this actually what I want to do? Is this actually worth it?
Yeah.
Because we both have hit things where we're like, we just feel so much resistance, and then turns out like, oh no, I needed to leave. Like, I don't need to be here anymore. Like, just stuff like that. So I think give yourself permission, have some fun.
Enjoy the process, but put things you enjoy into the process.
I think that's a perfect way to end it, to be honest. All right, well, we love you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.